says, the men have fallen. I did a video about this a little while ago, saying how the Father gave me a download of how a group of men have fallen, and he instructed his daughters to surrender the relationship and get out of the way because judgment was coming for them. A lot of these men have been turned over to their sins. And I don't know if you all are seeing what I'm seeing on my timeline, but relationships are going through it right now. Again, this is why I keep telling y'all need to call some sort of separation between these men right now, because they have been turned over and they have a lot of rage. They have a lot of anger within them, and you will get hit by that. So again, y'all need to surrender these relationships. But I wanted to come because the Father has been showing me more, and I feel like there's so much happening within this dynamic. The goal for everyone is freedom. It is freedom. And then within that freedom is your salvation. But the men, specifically the men in these relationships, right? They have allowed themselves to be a vessel for the enemy throughout their lives, or, whatever, however long they have been in a dating scene. They have been someone that Satan can rely on to ensure that the different agreements that the daughters had with the enemy, they were a vessel to allow that thing to manifest. So the Father, though, instructed them, and again, these are videos that's like on my timeline, but the Father instructed them a little while ago to either leave his daughters alone or do right by his daughters. A lot of them did not listen. They kept engaging and kept, doing things they should not have been doing. And because of that, the judgment has hit them. And this is judgment for their disobedience, not necessarily judgment for you, right? Those are two separate things that's happening there. But they have, again, been a vessel for the enemy, right? And because they have been turned over, a lot of these men are being tormented now. You will probably see or notice how you may have saw or thought that the person was doing better, but all of a sudden it's like they're not, right? There may be some changes, but it's getting worse because they have been turned over to these things. These men are being tormented by these entities. Now, this is double fold though, because for you, sis, you being with him is blocking your own healing. Now, what's going to happen if you stay in this relationship? Again, you're going to get everything that he's going to push out, right? The entities, the things that dwell in us that are not of the Father, y'all, they want to manifest. That's what you believe, what you see in someone, because that is something in them manifesting. The goal is for them to get in us. Once they're in us, steal, kill, and destroy, right? And that's what you're going to be experiencing. These entities are fighting for their turn to manifest within someone's life, right? So you being with someone that has all of these strongholds, since you are the one that's going to be hit by these strongholds, right? But what the Father is saying is to separate from these relationships. Now, when you start to separate from these relationships, and this is why a lot of y'all keep going back, because what then happens is that you then start to be tormented by your own demons and entities, because now the distraction of the relationship is not there. Again, the goal is freedom from these entities. And the only thing that's going to get you freedom is you being tormented and you saying, I don't want this thing dwelling in me anymore. That's when you surrender. That's when you go to the Father. That's when you get deliverance, or that's when you start your healing journey. But the relationship it's distracting, but it's blocking you. It's blocking you from entering the healing. Because right now there's so much going on. It's a distraction. But once you separate from this relationship, that's when you will then, I don't want to say be turned over, because if you separate within this relationship, and if you have been doing the work, as you separate, your awareness is bigger now, to where you can see, okay, wait a minute, this is something that I need to heal from. If you have not been doing the work and you are about to remove yourself from a dynamic like this, it's not going to be easy, because you now have to deal with everything that you and the people before you, the stuff that was passed down to you, that's all on you. You're carrying all of that. So when you separate from this relationship, your strongholds, your entities, they're going to start manifesting. You're then going to be tormented. And in the midst of you being tormented, you now have the opportunity to get set free. Freedom is the goal. But again, I don't know if y'all seeing what I'm seeing on my timelines. These relationships, these men have been turned over. It is best if you create some sort of distance and you start working on yourself. If you all need help with this, come join us inside the Kingdom Lounge. If you need support, reach out. You all stay encouraged.